Howdy partners. So today's something a little bit different. I want to talk about booktubers that I love because my favorite way to find booktubers is through other booktubers. I just prefer that to the algorithm. Call me crazy, but I don't know. You just find a wider range of people that way, I think. I feel like when you're going through the algorithm, it refers you to booktubers of the same type as the person who you are already watching. But when you watch people who like different booktubers, like their taste is all over the place generally, and you find a lot of hidden gems, smaller users that the algorithm's not pushing so much. So since that's my favorite way to discover people, I thought, why don't I just talk about how much I love all the people I follow? I was living for this dark, misty day. I've been so excited about it all morning, and now the sun's coming out. And I love sunshine, but I was in like foggy day mode and it's ruined now. Okay, back on track. I'm gonna do this from smallest creator to largest creator, which is exciting because I get to start with my good friend Gabby, who just put out her third video. I have been wanting her to do a YouTube channel and she's doing it, and I'm so excited. I love this girl. Like, I chat with her a lot and she's truly amazing. Such a kind person, such an entertaining personality. She's just straight up smart. So Gabby's channel title is Cerebral Calisthenics, which is such a Gabby name. It's so clever. And she is actually a writer. I don't want to speak for her, but in an effort to kind of relay the message of what she's going for with her channel, my understanding is she kind of wants to make a channel where she talks about what she's reading, which her perspective is so interesting all the time. I always want to chat with her about everything I read, but she's also a writer and she's not published yet because she's still working on her book, and she wanted to make a channel for unpublished writers who are just learning the process, finding their voice, trying to figure things out. And I think that's amazing. In any area, in any hobby, in any study, that is my favorite type of channel, is channels by people who are going through it and just relaying their knowledge. I prefer that to somebody who is already extremely successful and is giving you like a perfect little bullet point list that is supposed to solve all of your problems. Like, just real people talking about what they're doing and starting a conversation. And that's what she's trying to do, and I think it's amazing. So if you like reading, check her out. If you like writing, check her out. If you just like fun people, check her out. Please give her some support because I want this channel to keep going. I want her to do it forever because I love her videos and I love listening to her perspective on absolutely everything. So Gabby has 7 subscribers as of now. She's only done 3 videos, so she's like baby booktuber. I can't wait to see where it goes because I think as soon as people watch her, they're gonna fall in love with her. Truly, she's a hidden gem, so go check her out. She also has really cute pets, and Luna, one of her dogs, is in her videos, and it cracks me up because you just see her little tail going in the background. Like, it's so cute. And then we have my new book friend who I just did a buddy read with, Melanie. Her channel is A Dark Corner of the Library. She's got a really cool profile picture, and she reads a lot of, she's kind of all over the place with her reading like me, which is why I love her channel, but she reads a lot of fantasy, a lot of dark anything if it has the word dark in front of it, hence her channel name. Sci-fi, she's got R2-D2 on her shelf, but also contemporary fiction, and she's super nice. She does a lot of like autumnal videos right now to get everybody in the mood for fall. She's really great. She's super sweet, and man, we hit our first buddy read out of the park. We read Slewfoot together, and it was just a really good time. So check out her channel. She's another newer booktuber. She, as of today, has 82 subscribers. She also has a cute cat that's on her channel, so it's always a bonus if there's pets involved, right? Next up, we have Kat from Lit with Kat, which is such a fun handle. I love it. Kat I really like because she has a very balanced channel. Like, she's kind of hitting all the points. She's got a really cool, just chill aesthetic going on. She's very like calming to listen to, And she has interesting books that she reads. She's not just reading the most trendy recent books. There's a lot of books that she talks about that I haven't really heard other people talk about. And that's always a massive bonus for me because that's how you expand your horizons. So she's really great. I definitely binged her channel as soon as I found it. As of now, she's got over 2,000 followers and she's pretty consistent with her videos. It's like weekly-ish that she posts. She is sort of a mixture of reading recommendation videos and reading vlogs and different types of lists. And she's got the little doodles on her thumbnails and stuff, which gosh, I want an iPad so that I can do that. But yes, it's a lovely channel. I really like watching her videos. The next person I want to talk about is Nymph Reads. And this is a channel that I just discovered recently, so I have yet to binge everything, but I love what I've watched so far. She has a really good way of describing books. I have not figured out how to be concise and like which bullet points to throw in there for like a really interesting but short and sweet description of books. I'm terrible at that because my brain just goes in circles, but she's great at it, which is so satisfying for me because I'm not capable of it. She also has a really good aesthetic, which is not like I'm never going to watch anybody for their aesthetic and I'm never going to not watch anybody for their aesthetic. It just helps. It's nice, you know? Right now, she's got almost 3,000 subscribers. Recently, I think she's posting closer to monthly. I don't mind that at all. I don't really understand the whole thing where people need to be posting, you know, every other day. If you are making good content, I will wait a month for the next video. Happily. Check her out. Her channel is really good. I can't wait to binge more. All right, John and Sierra from the channel, and they were readers. You guys, goofballs, straight goofballs. Like, they have so much fun together. Their channel makes me laugh so hard. They are both uber smart people, but they are so silly, and they just sit down and have a good time together and chat about what they are both reading, mess around, and it's so much fun. Like, you can't not smile watching their videos. And there are several books that if I would have just seen the cover, I would have never considered reading them, but hearing them talk about them, they're super high up on my wish list now. So I love channels that can completely flip my perspective on a book because that is what you need sometimes. They've got over 3,000 followers, so they're pretty much posting weekly, which is great for me because they are so entertaining. I cannot recommend this channel more. They are not an ordinary booktube channel. First of all, I think it's really interesting when people do a channel together. It either works or it doesn't. I have seen some people that are super awkward because they don't know how to like both talk about their separate books in the same video, and there's a lot of like awkward pauses, or there's like one really outgoing person and then one really timid person, which I get it, but these two do not have that problem. Like, they are both silly and they both have really interesting taste in books. It's just, it works so well for them. I'm so happy that they did one together and that they didn't do separate channels because it just would not be the same. Next, we have Reading Nymph. And I know I said I would never watch anybody for their aesthetic, and I don't watch her for that reason, but she has her aesthetic down so well. Like, it is so cohesive and it's just really nice. It's really satisfying to go to her channel because everything is put together so well. She, I think, is going to save me this winter because life has just been really, really stressful lately, and I think I'm going to end up needing a lot more like thrillers and page turners to really keep me from going into massive reading slumps, which I am in right now, and I have turned to a thriller. So I think that's going to be my strategy this winter, and she focuses on thriller, horror, mystery, the whole spectrum of that area. Like, she does Agatha Christie, but she also does straight up horror, and she's just got so many lists, so many recommendations. That's a nice thing about people that are like more honed in on one specific genre, is you can find a gajillion recommendations when you know that specifically is what you want to read. Right now, she's got between 4,000 and 5,000 followers, and she posts very consistently. If you are into those genres, this is definitely a really good one to go check out. Next up is Lyd from the channel Lyd Loves, and this is one where I would say her personality is what hooked me, but what kept me around is she has a really good variety of videos. She has book hauls, she has specific videos like books you can read in under an hour, or creepy books, things like that. And I love when people have a wide variety of how they organize their videos, like ones that will appeal to a lot of people, but also hyper specific ones where they know they might not get quite as many views, but it's something that they feel needs its own video, and so they do it anyways. I love that because there are plenty of things that I wish people would do videos about, and I don't think they ever will because they're just very specific things. She has a pretty good range of the genres that she reads. Like, just looking at her page now, I see The Stranger, I see YA fantasy, I see Rouge by Mona Awad, all over the place, which, you know, that's my favorite thing. I love it. Then we have Ben Reads Good. And when I was making the list and organizing it by like smallest channels to largest channels, I was shook because I don't understand like why he doesn't have a gajillion followers. Everybody go follow him. He's so good. Ben is amazing at telling you what you need to know and what you want to know about a book in order to be convinced that you want to read it in like 15 seconds. It's amazing. It's so impressive. I suck at that, and that is why I want to learn from him. I have definitely read books because of him, and they were ones that I've never heard anybody else talk about, and they were ones that I instantly wanted to read. So I trust Ben a lot, and he's by far one of my favorite channels. You should definitely go check him out. So Ben's channel is cool because he does reviews of just what he's reading for himself in his spare time, but he also will talk about book prizes and rank books based on his opinion from the long list and short list. So you can learn a lot about what is popular in critics' eyes at the time, and that is one thing that at first I didn't think I was going to be interested in. But Ben and a couple other channels have gotten me really interested in it, and it's just super nice that he has a mix of things. And I'm not gonna lie, Ben reads some books that a lot of men wouldn't really care about reading, and I appreciate that so much. Like, he reads books from the Women's Prize list. He read like Britney Spears' autobiography, things that a lot of guys just like, they don't really care. He reads and reviews, and I appreciate that a lot. Also, he quotes Zoolander in his biography, so you have to love him. I hope people are not creeped out that I'm saying that I love them. I love their channels and I love their presence on YouTube. Like, nobody be creeped out. I'm so sorry. Ben has over 6,000 followers. Go check him out, honestly. You are doing yourself a favor. Go to his channel. Next up is the ultimate chill channel, and that would be Nick from Books Are Sick. Nick has his whole own spin on booktube, and I appreciate that so much. I've thought a lot about how he's doing his channel when I overthink and stress about trying to grow a new booktube channel and try to find a balance of being myself and doing what I want and doing what people want to watch. It's such a hard line to walk, especially when you're new, because you feel so much pressure. Nick is doing it his way, and it's really working for him, and I love it. He's also really big on Bookstagram. He has his own merch that he does limited releases on, which is pretty cool. I always miss it, but I always want it. He organizes his videos by just like week 1, week 2, week 3, and he just talks about what he happens to be reading at that time. It's not a thing where he's like sitting down and mapping out a whole long TBR and then like sticking to that. He picks up what he wants to read and he tells you about it. He just sits at his desk with his beanie and just chats, and it's lovely. It is so relaxing. He reads everything under the sun and is very enthusiastic. He's got a huge love for books, and it's very infectious, and you should check him out on Instagram and on YouTube. He's very active on both of them. His wife is also a really big reader. She has a business dyeing her own yarn, and it's gorgeous. So all around, that whole family, top notch. Top notch. He has over 24,000 subscribers on YouTube right now, and he's super consistent since he's just sitting down every week and telling you about what's going on. He's also a professional photographer, so his videos are just like excellent quality. I think his channel is really important because it is so against the grain of like the booktube formula, and it's so successful, and I'm really happy about it. I hope it keeps growing. I hope people learn from him and kind of continue to break the mold, because you do kind of see a lot of like, this is how booktube is done. It can be stressful if that's not really your jam, but you want to be successful on booktube. So it's really comforting to watch his channel and see how well it's doing while he's just doing his own thing. Next up is Alice from the Book Castle. Alice, she's one of my comfort channels. I save a lot of books from her channel, but she's just so easy to listen to. It's a very beautiful channel, and she has a wide range of books that she reads. She's just so easy to listen to. She's very personable. She has about 27,000 followers right now, is very consistent with her posting, and she reads graphic novels. That's another thing that I love about her. It's not that common, in my experience, to find a booktube channel that also talks about graphic novels, because they're so divisive. They're so stinking divisive, and I don't really understand why. But she talks about her graphic novels, and I have picked a lot up from her. I think, honestly, there was one month where almost every graphic novel I read was her recommendation. She's got a little bit of everything going on. I really like watching her. You should definitely check her out. I would say probably the genres I remember her talking about the most are like YA fantasy, dark academia, contemporary fiction. I would say those are like the most consistent things that I hear her talk about, plus the graphic novels. Now I get to talk about Simon from Savage Reads. I enjoy Simon's channel so stinking much. He's definitely one of my biggest like binge channels because I could just listen to him talk forever. So Simon, first of all, refers to himself as a bookish bear, and his bio is just like instantly makes me love him. His mom has a YouTube channel also. It's amazing. That would be so much fun to do collabs with your mom from your channels. Absolutely amazing. Simon, he rambles. Yeah, Simon rambles sometimes, but he's really funny when he rambles. So Simon is really good if you like a more casual, conversational, just like, it kind of feels like a fireside chat, you know? He just picks up the book and he just goes off. Just everything that he thinks about the book just comes out, and I love that. It's one of my favorite things about the channel. Honestly, Simon is just hilarious. Like, the more you watch, the more you see how funny he is. And he's just a joy to watch. He has really, really interesting takes on books. Okay, the more I'm sitting here trying to describe his channel and his vibe, it's kind of hard to describe, which just means you have to go check it out for yourself. And I'm excited for you because it's an amazing channel. He's really got an interesting perspective on things, and he has a really good way of analyzing the books that he reads. So he's a comfort channel for me, but he's also one that I'm trying to learn from, and he's just a good time. Honestly, he's a great time. As of now, he's just shy of 30,000 subscribers. He's wonderful. Just go check him out. Okay, so this channel, I have only watched one video, but I adored it. And I watched it twice, and I save a bunch of their videos to my watch later. Binging will be happening, and that channel is Jen Campbell. She's got about 71,000 followers right now. Her vibe is just so good. So actually, the video I watched of hers was booktubers that she loves. She's actually part of the reason I'm doing this one. And she made pizza in that video. I think it was like booktubers I love plus making pizza, which just sounds like a great time. I love when people combine different things that they love into one video. It's my favorite. And she's just got a really great personality. She is lovely to listen to, and it's just a very relaxing channel. But I feel like when you say that, sometimes people think it will be boring. No, she's super interesting, but it's just very calming, and I cannot wait to explore her channel more. Okay, Book Roast. Yeah, Book Roast is a recent discovery of mine, and she's such a good time. So she's nerdy, and that's my favorite thing in a person. She is nerdy. I'm pretty sure the readathon that she talks about on her channel a lot, I'm pretty sure she made it. I think she did. She does this really, really in-depth readathon where it's like, you gotta watch videos to know what you're doing. And mind you, that's not for everybody. That is so for me. And that is definitely part of her channel. She reads a ton of fantasy and has a beautiful aesthetic to her channel, like a gorgeous aesthetic to her channel. And she is not afraid to just speak her mind. Like, I'm just looking at her channel now and it says haunted by bad books, and bad books is in caps. And I love when people will just call stuff out. I want people's honest opinions, and she is not afraid to give hers. So go check her out. It's a really fun channel. It's a really, really fun channel. So she has about 90,000 followers, over 90,000 followers, and I totally see why. Like, she has invested time in her channel. She puts a lot of work into it, and you can tell, but it's smooth, it's flawless. Like, it's just such a fun time. Next up is Jenny from This Story Ain't Over. She's been on booktube for a while, and you can tell her videos are put together so nicely. They're just smooth. Jenny I really like because, gosh, she's just so practiced at this, and it just really shows. She has such a wide range of videos. Like, you can go and find just a long list of book recs, and she just says the perfect amount about them. Like, you're hooked, you know a little bit of what's going on, but not too much, and it's not super long-winded. But she also has videos where she is discussing a genre in depth and talking about the reading process, not just book recommendations, and I really appreciate that. From what she said in her videos, her taste has changed a lot over the years as she's been on booktube, which I find really interesting and very valuable because she's going to see things through multiple lenses, and I really appreciate that about her. She also just has like a very fun personality, a really good aesthetic. Like she's the whole package, which is why she has over 100,000 followers. Definitely check her out. She's one that's just very fun to watch. She's one that's great to get recommendations from, but she's also one that if you are figuring out your channel and your content, she's a good channel to study also. Next up is Elias, who refers to himself as the patron saint of typos, which I love. So relatable. Elias has a really good range of videos. I know I've been saying that, but like, listen, I like really good booktube channels, okay? These picks are great. Go check them all out. Elias, his reading taste is all over the place. You can catch him talking about Twilight. You can catch him talking about really nerdy fantasy series that are super intimidating and long. So he's got everything. He's got book rec videos, he's got vlogs, and then he also has just super random videos about one specific book or about reading in general, about the book industry in general. He's got a little bit of everything. I'm just scrolling his page right now, and there is a video title that says "After Made Me Want to Stay Single for the Rest of My Life." I mean, like, I instantly want to read that / instantly don't want to read that. Like, if your title can make me feel that many things, on point. This is a channel where it's better to just go look for yourself because he does have such a crazy variety of videos that I'm leaving out so much. I would have to talk for so long to let you know what all he has going on. Just know he has a really cool personality, he has a lot of content, and he's got something for everybody. So just go take a look. As of now, he's got about 109,000 followers, and for good reason. Next up is Captured in Words. This is like your go-to fantasy guy. If you want to geek out hardcore on fantasy, like, this man is your encyclopedia. This is who you need to go look at. I mean, there's a couple people on this list that are good for it, but he is definitely one when I'm like, I want to start a big series and I like this. There's this whole world of books. Which book do I start with? This is the first channel I go to try to figure it out. His production quality for his videos is out of this world. Okay, like scrolling through right now, you've got 50 must-read fantasy books. You have 5 new fantasy books you want to read. Standalone fantasy book recs. Ultimate guide to reading more and staying focused. This is the type of channel where you're going to talk about the technicalities of what makes a good fantasy book, but not just that. But if you want to learn about which books have good world building, if you want to learn about an author's whole body of work, this is the place to go for that. He has about 120,000 followers right now. If you like fantasy at all, if you're curious about fantasy, this is the person to consult. Like, this is where you should go to figure out what you want to try. He also does have videos where he's focusing on certain authors and talking about what writers can learn from those authors, so you can also learn a lot from him if you are writing a book. Next up is Emily from Books with Emily Fox. Man, I'm so happy I found her channel. She reads everything. She really reads everything. She's got a massive bookshelf and she does TBR jar stuff and all that, but she is super open with her opinions, which I love. I just want to know what people think. I don't want it sugar-coated. I appreciate her so much for that. And I have so many books saved from her videos. She also reads nonfiction. She reads a lot of fiction, but she also reads a lot of nonfiction, and I appreciate that because I read almost everything. Really, the only thing that I don't read is classic lit, but I have a lot of nonfiction books saved from her. Nonfiction can go either way for me. I think it's kind of like that for anybody. It can be the driest, dullest thing on earth, or it can be truly life-changing. She really does have something for everybody. I'm not like, she really, really has something for everybody. She's got nonfiction, she's got fantasy, she's got contemporary fiction, she's got all of it. She has about 130,000 subscribers. She's super consistent with her videos, and there's a wide range of stuff on there. I cannot recommend her channel more. Elliot Brooks. She is the other encyclopedia of fantasy books. I mean, you go to her channel page and you can instantly tell that she is an authority of fantasy on booktube. She is really good at recommending books, even if they're not her favorite, because she understands who they will appeal to. And I think that is an insanely valuable skill to have, and I appreciate it so much. So she's able to put together these recommendation lists of many, many books because she's not gonna just talk about the ones that she loves. And that's not to say that she's making bad recommendations, but obviously, like, it's all relative. It's all about taste. She will say if she didn't like a book, but she can still break it down in a way that you understand if it's appealing to you or not. She's got about 154,000 subscribers. I believe this is her full-time job now, so she's putting a lot of work into it. She's cranking out a lot of videos. They're very high quality, but she's super, super chill, so it's very nice to watch her videos. So yeah, another good one. If you have any interest in fantasy at all, like, you need to go to her channel. Jared Henderson. Man, I appreciate this channel so much. Jared Henderson's channel is one that I have saved because I want to push myself with my reading. I have Letters from a Stoic on my shelf, and I want to try out reading philosophy, but it's super scary for me. It's super intimidating. He has videos on how to think critically and how to analyze books in a different way. He's got videos on how to, dip your toe in the water of philosophy. He's more of a reading to expand your horizons and gain more knowledge channel, and he's just brilliant at breaking things down in a very approachable way, and I think there need to be more channels like that out there. He also has videos on journaling and how that can change your mindset and how you do things, how it can help you. I think the video of his that I haven't watched yet that I want to watch the most is 6 Books That Changed How I View the World. I love that stuff. I love hearing about what makes people tick, why they see things the way they see things, what their experience has been, and how that has shaped them. So that is the perfect video for me, and that is kind of the overall vibe of his channel, is talking about things that have made him who he is today and how reading has been a massive part of that, as well as journaling. It's just a really, really, really well done channel, because it could be a really unapproachable channel, but it's not. It's absolutely not. He's so good at breaking things down, and he's got like a very calm, friendly personality on his channel. I have the video saved where he talks about how to get into philosophy. Letters of a Stoic is actually a book that he said would be a good starting point for people wanting to try out philosophy. So I will definitely be referring to that video a lot while I'm reading that book. He has about 294,000 followers, and I totally see why, because his corner of booktube is very underutilized. I really hope that there are more channels that pop up like his that become successful, because I think we need everything on booktube and there's not enough of that. So I couldn't appreciate this channel more. Next is Hannah from A Clockwork Reader. She has over 500,000 subscribers. So she has a lot of romance recs, a lot of contemporary fiction, literary fiction, but she also has a lot of more trendy videos, like I read Colleen Hoover books so that you didn't have to, and things like that. She has a lot of content. The vibe and the aesthetic are really lovely. I really like listening to her talk about books. Like, she's a really good balance of personable and laid back, but informative. And that is the perfect balance for me. Even if she's talking about books that I'm not particularly interested, I will still listen to her talk about them because I just like how she talks about books. Last but definitely not least is Haley Pham, who has over 3 million followers. She has an insane amount of followers, and I feel like that actually usually gives me pause when I see a channel, because I'm worried that it's going to be very trendy videos. But she is so good at talking about books. And she's writing a book. She's writing her first book. That is why I love listening to my friend Gabby talk, because she sees things in a different way. Everybody's going to see books in a different way when they're studying the structure of how to write a good book. So that is something super valuable that Haley offers. And she reads a good variety of books, and she reads some books that are less known and some books that are very trendy. I love listening to people who are super thoughtful and intelligent and analytical when it comes to writing talk about trendy books. She also named her dog Spock. Spock is insanely cute. He's insanely cute, and he doesn't really like a lot of people, so he has my heart. Bonus for the channel. So those are all of my favorite booktube channels. It's a wide variety, and it's been a blast discovering content creators, and it's still one of my favorite things to do, is just keep finding more and more people, because every now and then you find a channel and you watch their video and you haven't heard of a single book that they're talking about. And then boom, your horizons are expanded, and that's it. It's the best way to learn more about books, in my opinion, is to hear multiple people from different walks of life talking about the same book, the same author, the same genre. I think it's super eye-opening, super helpful, and just straight up fun for me, at least. I feel like there's a good variety of recommendations on here, so I hope at least a few of them are appealing to you. And please check out the smaller channels, because everybody is putting a lot of time and work into these channels, and everybody starts out as a small channel, even Haley Pham with her over 3 million videos. And it's fun following somebody from the beginning and watching them grow and watching how they develop their channel. Like, we all need to be supporting each other in this. My small channels that I recommended are the bomb, so please go check them out. On that note, I have a really extreme craving for Chipotle, so I'm gonna go get that and then just hunker down inside all day, because it's back to being rainy and cloudy outside. So I'm gonna go eat some Chipotle. I hope everybody's doing great, and I'll see you in the next video.